hopefully you guys can come on in and see me now. This is take 2 on the Artistry Collective's Fall Halloween Live Craft and Chat with Me event. We are trying to get all of our pages here cut out and ready to go for this good folio that we're going to put together. Hopefully my friends make it back here. Struggling with some technical difficulties today. All right, I'm just gonna keep cutting these out. Then we'll put some ink. Hey, there's Sharon. Hello. I don't know if you were just here before or not, but we were having some technical issues. We're on take 2. There's Cynthia and Karen. Hi, guys. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. It bumped us all out. Pouring the coffee, thank you. We need a little grace today. We're going to make this fun fall folio. If it's the last thing we do today or not. So we'll get it done here. And I am backing these tags. These are from a printable from Cynthia over at Guided Creation Printables. I will link all that stuff in the bottom once the live is over. I don't know what's going on here. There we go. Ooh, look at that. Look at that metallic. I love that copper color. Beautiful. And we'll be able to see that color because it's going to be on the back of these tags. So I plan to put these in pockets, and yes, you can still write on metallic paper. Hello in Louisiana. Hello, Deborah. I hope you guys are having okay weather. I know there was like supposed to be a bunch of heat going across, I think it was Texas. But today it's a little bit cooler here today in Western Washington. It's in the 60s, and I'm mostly okay with that. I don't like to sweat, but I don't like to freeze. I just kind of like somewhere nice and in between. Is that too much to ask? It has been very hot. Oh, well, at least it's better today. Okay, good. Yes, we're hopefully this, whatever we had to do with take 2. So hopefully it's fixed now. All right, here we go. So what we did so far, we used this envelope here from Guided Creation Printables. I did run it through the Xyron Creative Station, which made it sticky. And then I was able to adhere it to this kind of lightweight cardstock. And then I did crease it. So normally it would just go like this and just be an envelope. Look how pretty that is. Beautiful, just like that. If you did nothing else to it, it's absolutely gorgeous. We're going to make it a fun folio, though, because that's what I do. And I think Cynthia is hoping that I would play and make it into a fun folio as well. So I'm going to pull out some fun fall colors of ink. I'm going to do Rusty Hinge. I'm going to do Scorched Timber. And of course, I cannot leave out my favorite Frayed Burlap. Now there's no green in there. We could add Bundled Sage, but yeah, we'll just go with this for now. All right, so I'm going to use some Scorched Timber and just go along the edge. I want to have a nice defined edge, and I want to get rid of the white from the paper that I glued here because the paper was printing paper. Just white printer paper. Of course, you could print it onto cardstock. I could have printed it onto this orange cardstock, but I didn't know for sure what that would do to my print. Now it might have printed out even more brilliant and just been a wonderful color. So I'm not saying don't explore with using colored cardstock, but it wasn't the look I was going for today. I wanted the print to be beautiful and brilliant right in the forefront there. I did leave this to extend just a little bit beyond the printable envelope line, and if I don't like that later, I can cut it off. And the same thing with these little tabs, these little flaps. You can use them in the envelope here, or you can cut them off if you don't need them as part of your folio. You're ready. Ready for fall? You love frayed burlap too, yes. Oh gosh, hot weather's coming. Oh no. I don't know that I'm quite ready for fall yet. Like I said, I love coffee. I love coffee weather. I love fall, but I don't like pumpkin spice. I like that least of all, if we want to rhyme. Being allergic to cinnamon really puts a damper on the whole fall vibes. It used to be my favoriteest season ever, but as I've gotten more and more allergic to it, it is just not a fun allergy. Okay, let's see. How'd we do? What do we got going on back here? Okay. And I was thinking on this edge right here, I might put some of that burlap. So we got to make sure I have a little bit of room. I want to put just a thin edge right there. We could put ribbon. We could also put burlap back here as we go. We'll see. Now we don't have a gusset. So a gusset would give us like a spine. We could make one. There's room. We could do that. If I do that, then I'll have more room for what's inside. So in order to add a gusset, we just add another score line right next to this one. And it'll add a thin little spine and give us some more room for the things we plan to put inside. And I always plan to put way more things inside than there's room to fit there. And it's always funny because I think, I don't need a gusset. I don't want a gusset. And then later I'm like, there's no gusset. I'm like, well, because you didn't put one in. Ugh. Anybody else do the same? Okay, let's see. Which way do we want the gusset to go? We want it to go on this piece here. So I'm just going to line it up there. I'm going to skip 2 notches and put in a score line. So here's our score line that we have already. I'm going to go 1, 2, and we're going to crease it. Whoops. We're going to hopefully stay in the same lane. I'm not driving very straight today. All right, and then we're going to use our bone folder to give us a nice crease. And then we'll have the tiniest little gusset. And since that pulled this down a little bit for that gusset, we'll have a little more room for some burlap on the edge. So you can see there, it just gave us the tiniest little spine. Don't need a lot of room, just a little extra room. Stay in your lane, lady. This is why I don't have a driver's license, because I cannot stay in any lane anymore. Visually, not okay to drive. Absolutely not. It was funny because I was talking to Bella, my little sprout, the other day, and she was asking where I was. And I said, I'm in the car. And she said, oh, driving? I was like, no, Mimi's not driving. It's a bad day if Mimi's driving. Okay, and then while we have our scoreboard out, we can use a score line to get these folded here as well. You don't have to use a scoreboard for this. You can use a ruler and a stylus or a bone folder or whatever it is that you use to kind of smush things out. And you basically are just following along these little lines that are already printed there for you to make the pockets. And of course, like I said, if you don't want them, you can cut them off and then you don't need these little pocket wings. But they do give you the ability to have deeper pockets. So if you want to put thicker things or more things or whatever, leave yourself these little tabs. If you don't plan to put much in there, take them off. And you know, if you don't know what you want, then just kind of leave them there. And you can always take them off as you're gluing. Okay, so let's go ahead and score this. Let's see. And just by scoring it, it really helps to give you a little easier way to fold it. Of course, you can eyeball it, but I don't do that very good either. Not in my strength wheelhouse right now. And even before I lost my sight, I really wasn't very good with like depth perception and like spatial things, visualizing spatial things. I'm always like, that'll fit. Mr. Frapps is like, it will not fit. I'm like, that'll fit. And what perfectly comes to mind with that, and we got this big sectional. We went to go pick it up, and he was like, "Did you ask him the measurements or anything?" I'm like, "I don't know. It'll fit." Oh my gosh, it took up the whole room. There was really no. It fit, but like not much else fit. We still have just one piece of that couch left now. We had it for years while the kids were growing up. And it was really great to have room for everyone. But we didn't have room for much else, that's for sure. But I was right. It did fit. Just barely. We could hardly open the front door. It like kind of hit the couch. But I was determined. It was the best, comfiest couch. I was determined we were not returning that couch. We were going to have that couch. Okay. Flip it around and score it. Then we get to have the fun part, gluing these down. I'm so excited to see this as a folio. And we have to work on a closure and putting in pockets. How are we doing for time? My time clock is all a mess now. We're about halfway through. If you're just getting here and you're not familiar with what we do on Wednesdays, this live is in part of a collective. The Artistry Collective is what we are called, and put together by Christy from Christy's Crafty Cottage. Up after me is Leah from Make All the Things With Me. And then after her will be Christy from Christy's Crafty Cottage. See, I did something to that one. I don't know what I did. But with this pattern, it really doesn't matter. It's very forgiving. So I love that too. Okay. Now, let's see what we can do here, aside from make a mess. Now, one thing that I thought was really great is that if you plan to use like some little coin envelopes to give yourself a little more acreage here, and room to flip some things up. Look at the color. It goes perfectly. So you don't even really have to do much to these. I could have put them on in between my layers here, in between my printed layer and the cardstock, but I didn't think that far ahead. So we can always also glue these going this way. And I want to put it kind of close to this gusset line so I can keep the edge for some trim here. And I think I will just glue that right there. And that just gives us another area to have some fun things on. Of course, there's backing papers for this collection and everything. So you can put whichever one you like as the background. You can use this as another place. This will be a little flip up. And I'm going to put some pockets underneath here. So we'll now have a little flip up like this. And it still closes like this. So see, we have our little gusset now. All is good. All is right in the folio world. And you could have it going like this, but I kind of think it more goes like this because this looks like the right side up to me. So whichever way you like it, do that. And I think right here is where I might build these pockets. But I do think I want to have some sort of something in the background there. So let's choose something from one of these. And I think I want to use that beautiful, this one. Look at all this drippy goodness. How fun would that be right there? And this is great too because not all of your pieces need to be backed on cardstock or other paper. So you can just use this to add on and you're not adding a ton of bulk, which is great in some instances. All right, so again, more cutting and pasting. That's what we do a lot of with paper. All right. Look at all these drips. So if you don't like the drips that I was going to say, if you're not good at making drips, but really it's drips. How can you not be good at making drips? If you don't like the drips that you make, you can use printables and get them all done. I was just thinking, maybe I just want to like line this whole thing. That could be good. Then we won't see the orange, but I'm okay with that, I think. We'll see the orange up here. Maybe let's just put it to right here. All right, let's see. So it's going to go like this. And then it needs to go to like right there, I think. Now, if you are a measurer, feel free to measure. I don't particularly like to measure. I don't want to measure. You love cutting and pasting. Yes, that's, I do too. You do a lot of it. It feels like, everybody has their favorite part of a project. And sometimes just constructing the pieces can be a little frustrating because you're excited and anxious to get to the rest of the project. But remember, you're building it from the base here. It's kind of like putting the foundation on a house or something. It has to be done. It has to be done the right way. And you get to make all the decisions right here. So that's good. Okay, so we'll go ahead and glue this down, and that will cover our flap, which is great. I can see a little bit of white right there, so we'll try to get rid of that right now. And then when we glue it, we will ink some more as well. And then we can put our pockets on this side. So we want to be careful we don't cover that gusset line. That's why I decided not to line the whole thing in one sheet. I might still use this piece over here, but I decided to do it in sections. And if you're noticing, I do have some straight edges and some torn edges, and I'm okay with that. If you're not, you can straighten them out or you can tear them out. Whichever. I'm going for a little bit of both, and it doesn't bother me. These really aren't going to be seen because they're going to be in the background of these pockets. So this is just a layer. It's going to hide our construction here, so it does have a purpose. And I just love this drippy goodness. It's coffee drippy stuff. And rather than see this orange, we'll see these coffee drips. Okay, and our gusset still folds there. There is, I stayed a little bit on the inside of that, so we can put some ink in between. We could also put some washi tape if we felt like our hinge or spine needs to be a little more strengthened. Same here as well. Can everybody see okay? I'm trying to make sure I'm in frame. I don't want to mess with it too much because I don't know what happened last time that ended the feed, but I hope you can see. I hope it's okay. I hope it's better than what it was. I don't know what happened. Okay, so we're going to put this pocket on, and you can decide if you want where you want it on the page here. Kind of. It's like perfect fit here. It's just fine. Yay, okay, I'm glad. I'm glad everybody came back. I've never had that happen before. I don't know. Some weird things are happening on YouTube. Okay, I think I might cut this just a little bit. Sometimes these folds, I will cut them like this so they're not as visible. And then this one here, I might just cut so it's just a little bit shorter. And then, hello, Poppy, welcome. Oop, what did that say? You can see it just fine. Okay, perfect. Yay, I love it. Okay, and then we're gonna use a corner rounder because these are rounded corners. And you can see I didn't do my cutting that perfect. I'm not the most perfect cutter to begin with. But when it's on a corner, I don't worry about it too much because you can always just put it in your corner rounder and see how it just cleans it right up. And then you can use ink. So ink is the savior of all things mist and cutting. It is the most helpful tool I find out there. I wouldn't be without my ink. It also gives us some nice contrast of the edges, which is great. Even if you don't like dark or black ink, you can do any color. But I feel like right here, using the scorched timber is perfect for this collection here. Looks fine. All right, good. Yay. That is fabulous. Okay, so I'm going to cut this one here again because it's kind of interfering with what I've got going. And you know, the designers don't take any offense when you modify their piece just a little bit. I'm on design teams and I have done some silly things, like they had cupids in one collection and I cut them out because I'm not really a cupid kind of girl, but I loved the background paper. I sent my apologies to the designer and she just thought it was funny. So, you know, if you see something in their design that maybe they don't see, most of them are really gracious and interested in your vision. So if you're using someone's designs and printables and whatever, tag them in the projects that you make. They love seeing what their designs can become. Now I'm just trying to decide. I could just cut this off because how are we going to get? I guess it will go more flat and we can put stuff in there because the flap's kind of in the way. That's all right. We'll make it work. Okay, and then I'm going to use some double-sided tape. I don't always use double-sided tape, but on these little flaps, they do come in. It does come in handy because it glues like right now. Okay, we don't want it to glue to there. So if you have tape that's too wide for your flap like this, see how it's just over? Once I peel this backing off, I can kind of roll it over. So any overage will just be adding some extra to the tab there. I'm just going to do it on these two. I think I'll just use liquid glue on the bottom. Okay, so let's see if that works. And then, like I said, we can take just our finger and just kind of flip it up so it's not hanging over. And since it's double-sided sticky, it'll stick to itself, and then it'll stick to the page I want it to stick to. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. If you're new to me and you are enjoying this crafting and chatting, I would love it if you would like the page, follow the page, do all the YouTube-y things, and follow my friends. We craft together every Wednesday in a lineup like this. We usually go in the same order. I start us off, and then we go to Leah, and then we go to Christy, and we just have a great time. And we all make, even if we have the same theme, we all make something totally different. So it's kind of fun to see what everyone is going to create. Okay, and then even though I'm using double-sided tape, I have this phrase, tape for today, glue for tomorrow. I like to put my liquid adhesive over that tape. One, it gives you a little wiggle room to move your pocket on there, get it in just the right place. And two, that tape will hold for today, and your glue will hold it down for many years to come when that tape might get brittle and old and all the things. You'll still have another form of adhesive holding down the fort, which is great. Get in there. There we go. And then I'm just going to take my bone folder and just smash it down so it's all good and stuck. Love that. Okay, then we can take the next layer and we could make another pocket in here, or we could save this one. What's this one look like? Ooh, we could put a little pocket. Oh, look at that. We could make it match right up there. And then that's kind of like almost a hidden pocket. I kind of like that idea. I won't really have anything down here if I do that though, because it needs to line up like right like that. And it doesn't quite work. I liked that idea, but it doesn't quite work. All right. This one is a really big pocket. We could put it around here so that this becomes a pocket. That's kind of fun. And for this one, we could put our little flaps just right around the envelope there because it does work, but then we lose that gusset. All right, let's put some ink. I know I want that for sure. So I've got, see that little white spot where I missed a little bit of ink and nobody really notices. It just makes it blend right in. And I want to make sure I do the closure. I have such a fun idea for the closure on this one. We got to get to it tonight's video. Okay. Let's put some tape on here. I think I'm just going to, did I want to put a background? I don't think I do. I think we can just leave this one orange. And I'll put the background on the back side. Because that orange is a nice contrast as well. Now we could stamp some kind of an image back there though. Let's see, let's use that wax paper I said. That was from the Xyron. And now we'll put some sort of a big stamp there. Let's see. Oh, this one. This one's just kind of some fun dots. And I have there we go. And we'll just put some little speckles in the background. Now, if we do that with the distress ink, it is subject to move. There we go. Subject, not suspect. Subject to move if we put any other kind of mediums on there. But I'm okay with that. I think I'm just going to just add it in the background so it's not plain. And you can see it just kind of goes with what we've got going here. So, and it's kind of like some splatters. So again, if you don't like the splatters that you create, it's not that you're bad at making splatters. You need to figure out what it is that you don't like about the splatters you're making and figure out how to remedy that. But if you can't, there's always stamps that'll do it for you, which is wonderful. Okay. And yes, those are rabbits. So you can see even spring stamps can be used for other things and year round. Okay, I like that a little better. Gives some sort of interest there. Now this, what would you do with this folio? I get asked those kinds of questions all the time. This one would be perfect. You could put maybe a little fall picture. If you want to send, maybe you have a college-age child or grandchild or friend or somebody that's going back to school, and maybe you want to send them a little fall gift, or you want to send a little happy mail. In the pockets, you could put some fun fussy cuts. You could put a gift card for a cup of coffee, since it's a coffee theme. Any of those things would be perfect, and I'm sure anybody would love to receive one of these. You could use it yourself for maybe you have some fall ephemera you want to store, or maybe some fall pictures you want to organize. Any of those things that you might need like an envelope storage for. Okay, and I'm noticing there's a little bit of, I didn't quite fold on the line, so we'll just cut that out there. There we go. How are we doing for time? Oh yeah, we got like 8 minutes, and I wanted to do the closure with you guys. So we'll start on that next. I'm not going to get this whole thing covered, but really, once you have your folio base, then it just becomes looking at it and deciding where you want pockets, where you want flip flaps, where you want to add anything, and just having a good time playing with it all. Okay, that's gonna go there. That's all flipped up there. And don't worry, if you make any mistakes, paper layers. So you just can keep putting the layers on until you're happy with the outcome that you have. So yes, this is going to flip up and it's still going to be a pocket, but it's a long pocket. So I feel like if you have your tag in there, it's going to be long enough that it should be able to stay in its place. It should be able to stay in its lane. Let's see, what do I have going on here? Nope, see, by adding that glue, I can now have a little bit of grace to go back and fix some sticky whatever I've got going on here. Okay, press it down. Press that one down, and then we'll get this side all pressed down. Perfect. There we go. See, don't freak out. We just gotta keep building. All right. I didn't get as far as I was hoping to get because we had some crazy technical issues, but that's okay. These folios can come together pretty quickly. So I've got a little flip here and a little tuck there, and I could make another belly band here or pocket there. And here we could put some tags, and we could put a little policy closure here if we wanted to. We could cut these little tabs off if we don't need them. They are a great place to add on your flaps, so it gives it a little more room there if you want to add something like that. Or like I said, you can just cut it even and just have a flush little folio there. So, flush edge to your folio there. Okay, so that's what we've got going so far. I think it might be fun to do a little bit of a waterfall in here. So we'll have like a little flip, flip, flip. And I think that's what I might do. So I might leave those unless if they get in my way. If they stay in their lane, they're good. Okay, we made these little tags as well. I didn't finish cutting them out, but I will cut these little pieces off. And one thing that you can do with these is you can use your circle punch to cut out the edges, or you can use like your crocodile, your 3/16 hole, and grab those there right on the edge, and it will punch them out. Or you can just use your scissors and then add some ink. That's what I like to do, is just use the scissors, add the ink, but so many ways to do the same thing, and no right or wrong way, just do what feels right. Okay, I also have a ticket punch, I just realized. I don't know if it will line up or not. Let's see, let's try it. This one is called Stub, and we'll put it in there and see if it will line it up. Ah, it does. Look at that. It makes it perfect. These colors were all in part of the collection here from Guided Creation Printables. It's a beautiful fall folio. It's a fun explosion of color. You're right. I love it. I love the fall color palette typically anyways. Ah, yes, this is great. Look at that. Just lines right up there. So don't forget that you have some of these fun punches in your stash if you do. This one's the Crocodile Corner Chomper. This one has Stub and Deco on it. And it's working perfectly for those tags. And then those tags will just fit right into these pockets here. And what do you do with this? Well, you could put some fun little fall photos on here, fall quotes or things. You could put some notes to someone here. Anything that you want to put in that pocket, you can put in there or put on your tag. All right, let's see. How are we doing? Ah, we got 3 minutes. I don't know if we're going to get to it or not. Let me show you. Up after me is Leah with Make All the Things with me. What did I do with those brads? Oh, they're right here, I think. I have some beautiful little brads in this same color palette. No, I had some with some rhinestones. There they are. So there's some with some rhinestones. And what I was thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of my misprint pages. At least that was the plan. I don't know where it is right this second because now I'm freaking out. But the plan is basically I'm going to cut out these little donuts here and I'm going to put it over here to make a fun closure with a brad in the center. And then it will be a little tie closure here and it'll go around. So I want to put the donut there. Let's see. And on the donuts, you can use your Nuvo drops. You can make them shine a little so it looks like that frosting is nice and frosting-like. So there's lots of little donuts. There's little coffee swirls too. We could do that. But I love this donut. I think that one's perfect. I'm gonna do that one right there. And you can use your Nuvo drops or stickles or anything that's kind of like that to make your little sprinkles shiny. All right, guys. Well, I am out of time, as hard as I tried today. So go see Leah at Make All of the Things with Me. She will be next in our live craft and chat. And hopefully I can get this folio done and I will do a fun little short or reel or something to show how it ended up. So you don't have to keep guessing. And so that's going to go right there with a little brad in the center. I'm going to glue that down on some cardstock so it's a little more sturdy. And then I'll put a piece of twine behind there so that it can have a nice little closure that'll wrap around here and hold our little folio together. So there we have it. Thanks so much for joining me and bearing with me during these technical whatever is going on. Isn't it going to be sweet? Yes. And thanks so much for being here. And we'll see you guys next time. Let's all go over to Make All the Things with Me and see how Leah's doing. Bye, everyone.